captured if you dare. And this is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. For here I am, just spinning in my tin can, far above the world. The planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I won't do.
Can I ask you something? The song you were just singing, do you believe that the Earth's a globe?
I don't know.
You don't know? Have you ever heard of the flat Earth?
No.
Ever heard of flat Earth?
Well, I mean, I don't see how it could be like a globe, like a circle.
Nah, you don't think it's a ball?
I don't think so, no.
Nah, neither do I.
Do you not?
No.
I've never really thought about it that much, to be fair, but I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't.
Do you think it's important to know where we are?
I suppose so. I suppose it is, but again, I'm like just dead naive and don't really think about it.
Yeah. Too busy with life.
I just kind of float about and
go on with it.
Don't really think about it.
Nice one. Cheers for engaging with me, buddy. It's just because you were singing that wee song, I thought it was relevant to what I'm up to here.
Exactly, it is.
Nice one, buddy.
What you're up to anyway?
I'm just asking people if they've heard about the flat Earth and you know why they believe they live on a globe and these types of things, you know, just to see what people's reactions are.
I'll need to see if you're out again and I go
get a wee conversation.
Get a wee think about it.
Excellent, buddy. Nice one. Thank you very much. Right, how you doing, buddy? My name's Dale.
Liam, pleased to meet you.
Liam, how you doing, buddy?
Not bad at all.
Listen, Liam, I'm just asking some philosophical questions and then other questions about the world we live in. Can I ask you, do you ever contemplate what life is?
A lot, yes, now you've said that.
Can I ask you what your thoughts are?
In what kind of sense?
Well, what do you think life is?
Well, I'm not, when you think about it, really, I'm not 100% sure when you think about that. I think more towards the later stages when you say that. Also me now, just became a student.
Right.
And I'm thinking, right, so that's going to bring me towards career.
And
then from that you're working to what, my age now will be about 70, 75 probably. At that, what it really is, that work towards then.
And are you pursuing your own endeavours or is it just something that you think?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
Towards healthcare and things like that, also music. Which I think brilliant to enjoy, but working in healthcare for what's going to be probably about 50 years.
50 years. So you're looking forward to that?
If you look at it that way, no. In the short term, yes. If you look at it 50 years worth, no.
Aye. So what I was asking was, you know, what do you think life is? Do you ever contemplate what life actually is?
It's a big game, innit?
A big
Do
game?
as well as you can, make as much money.
Make as much money?
Have as much fun as you can.
Do you think that's just an idea that's been offered to you in regards to, you know, what your life should be? Make money, chase that money, get stature?
Society, innit?
Get security? Aye.
Make as much money as you can, you'll be as happy as you can.
Do you think that's a natural process or do you think that it's been forced in those avenues?
It's kind of forced. What do you think now with the rise of how much everything is costing, to how much kind of you can do? Me, I'm working part-time, getting a bit of a bursary off college. Hard to actually go and do things I want to do, go on holiday, buy myself nice things like that.
So you feel kind of restricted? Do you think that people are more selfishly orientated rather than community orientated?
A lot more now, yeah. You look at it from when even hearing my mum and dad and my granny and that taught me when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I take New Year as a big one as well. I used to go and see everybody. I used to be like that, come into your house at New Year. Now I just don't see anybody.
Nobody cares anymore. There's no community spirit. There's no. I mean, even right now when we look up and down this street, there's so many homeless people and people who are suffering and in places of need, and you know, people don't care. They're just caught up in the wee bubble, the wee delusion. Where this is kind of leading to, mate, you know, I've asked you the kind of philosophical question. You're maybe still a bit young to know have pondered it properly yet, but can I ask you, where do you think you are right now? in regards to the Earth. What do you think the Earth is?
The Earth is?
Yeah.
What I think it is. And what do you kind of mean by that?
What do you think it is? Do you go with the mainstream story that was told to you through your childhood and on the TV, that Earth is a planet, a space ball that's flying through a vacuum chasing the sun with no rhyme or reason to it? Do you think that's reality?
In the bigger picture, yeah, it shouldn't be though. It's just, it feels, when you say it like that, it seems kind of just, that's set, do that and just go with it, kind of thing.
So my point is do you believe that the Earth is a globe?
I don't know.
You don't know?
You put me on the spot with that
Never
one.
thought about it?
That. I've not thought about that, no.
But is it in your consciousness? I mean, have you took it for granted that that is what it is?
Think about it, yeah, if you take that for granted actually, you think that.
Can I ask you, do you know then what's influenced you to think that? Is it based on what you see on the TV?
I was about to say, a lot of stuff that I kind of watch, documentaries, Netflix, things like that. There's a lot of kind of things like that as well. I've also read kind of a lot of books to do with kind of community development things, where you're talking about community aspects, bringing stuff like that together, but it seems just one track, kind of and go with it.
So you think there's a laid out narrative and that there's an agenda being pushed in regards to how we should conduct our lives? Yeah. So I just want to keep bringing you back to it, because my whole point of this is I don't believe that we live on a ball flying about in space. I think that the Earth's level. So have you ever heard of flat Earth?
I have.
Can I ask you what you think of that?
Not really my thing, I would say.
Can I ask you why?
Might sound a bit cheeky, one thing, go to the edge of the Earth and take a photo for me and show me.
Can I ask you, is that an original thought of yours, or is that's
something I've heard?
Something you've heard from people. So if I was to then turn that on you and say, why would you insist that there has to be an edge?
It's flat. Oh, now you've completely stumped me with that actually. Well, you've seen it with people. From you look at the first people that have around the Earth and hot air balloons, done it in planes, you can go right round and end up where you started.
Yeah.
If there was no edge, then it's just going to keep going, you're not going to get back away.
So what you're talking about there is circumnavigation.
Yes.
So if I was to stand up right now and I was to walk in a circle around you and around the bench and come back to where I started, would that tell you that the street's a ball?
It wouldn't, no.
No. The street's still level, isn't it? Well, it's kind of on a slope, but it's pretty much flat. So there seems to be this underlying thing where people have a programmed reaction to things like flat Earth, and they throw up these ridiculous statements, just like, I don't mean to say you're ridiculous, but it is ridiculous once you actually look into it. People say, well, go to the edge and take me a picture, as if that's some sort of rebuttal or proof that what they're telling us is actually true. So for me, I have to go to science. I base things on my direct experience and what I can test and prove for myself. And what I've discovered is that it's impossible for us to be living on a globe flying through a vacuum.
Okay.
Are you intrigued to why?
Yes.
Do you want me to explain a wee bit about
love you to.
wee bit why? What they'll tell you is that we live in pressure right now. So you understand that the air is pressurised. Now, in order to create pressure and maintain pressure, you have to have a sealed unit. Do you understand that? Yes. So like right now, the device you're holding, it contains a pressurised liquid. If I was to remove the glass, the liquid's not going to remain pressurised anymore, it's going to equilibrate.
Yes.
So they tell us that there's a vacuum up there and that we live in pressure. Now if I go to science and I create a vacuum and I try to pressurise a rock in a vacuum, it's not going to work. The pressurised air is going to equilibrate into the vacuum. So we know through scientific and applications in everyday life that you have to have containers to create pressure. So right there and then, when somebody tells me there's a vacuum up there, science tells me that's impossible. So that's one of the things. The other aspect is that the star constellations never change in relation to each other, ever. You look up there every night, you'll see the same ones. You'll see Polaris in the same position. My main proof, have you ever seen water bending?
No.
If I says to you, water seeks its own level, and that you cannot have a decrease or increase in elevation from one point to the other without the water flowing.
Right.
Would you say that's your direct experience of reality?
Could so, yeah. Think
well, any liquid. If I was to suggest to you that you could go into a pool of water and submerge a shape under the water, would you expect to see that shape displayed on a silhouette on the top of the water? No? What happens to the water?
The water levels rise. The levels of the water rise.
The level
We
rises?
can use that, for example, there's liquid in that,
Yeah.
a big metal bit in the middle.
Yeah.
Move that around, the water levels change.
The water levels change, but the surface of the water, what's it like?
Flat-ish.
Flattish?
Depends.
Oh.
All.
Sorry guys, I'm going to just sit here. Oh shit. So it's flattish.
Flat-ish.
What do you mean?
It,
If there's a force acting upon it, like you create a current
That's
or a
what I'm
wind,
thinking, aye.
you'll have movement. But for talking's sake, if I was to take your bathtub of water
Yeah, it'd be
and I was
flat,
to
aye.
bend your bathtub, would the water display the bend?
wouldn't know.
It wouldn't?
Flat.
So on a globe Earth, they're trying to tell you that vast bodies of water are bending around the ball, and that wee boats are going upside down and sailing to the underside of the Earth where everybody and everything's all stuck to it upside down. Do you think that's absurd?
When you say it like that, yeah.
As I say, could you reference anything in reality that would suggest any of that was even possible?
Nah.
No. So then again, why would you believe that and think flat Earth was ridiculous?
You're taught it the whole way through life.
You're taught it the whole way through life.
Primary school starting 4 and 5.
Exactly.
Now, at being 18, you've been taught that and told that.
That's exactly the response I was looking for, because that's the honest response, that's the reality of the situation. But when you get to a point where you go and address these assumptions and you start having a look at it, it starts to fall apart very quickly. So just to stay on the point, I don't want to pressure you. If you were still to suggest to me that you did believe it was a globe, and I was to say to you, okay, that's fine, could you point me to one proof that it is a ball? What would you come up with?
It would have been my edge of the world in a photo, but you've taken that and
It would have been what?
it would have been go to the edge and take a photo.
But that would be you asking me for proof of an assumed
Aye, so for me, so
picture.
proof.
So if I was to ask you, prove to me right now the world's a ball, what would your go-to be?
Pretty difficult to do.
Do you not think that's astonishing?
It is the way when you say that.
If it was a ball, it would be self-evident and abundant in proofs, would it not?
It would be.
But we have nothing to reference. When you go to the ocean and you look out at the horizon, you see a level straight line in front of you. It's called the horizon, the horizontal.
Ah,
Do you ever see it curve?
you don't know.
Have you ever flown on an aeroplane?
I have, yes.
Have you ever seen a curve from an aeroplane?
Oh, no.
Do you ever wonder why?
It's a very good point.
Do you know that an aeroplane's fitted with a gyroscope, a mechanical device that keeps it parallel with the Earth, and it doesn't deviate from that?
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So, excellent, mate. It's been a real pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very
What
much.
I want to ask you now is, are you intrigued enough to have a wee look
To
into
have a look into it, now you said it, yes I am.
without listening to mainstream nonsense? What I would ask is for you to be a direct realist and base things on science. So natural sciences, for me, the use of natural science and direct realism is so that I can never tell you a lie. If I says to you, Nessie's real, pink unicorns are real, how would I prove to you they were real?
Show me or prove some kind of
Some tangible, some physical, tangible stuff. So that's exactly it. When people make claims about substances and tangible stuffs, they have to demonstrate it to you, or else I can't believe it. So the same would be true then. That would you accept if I showed you an image of Nessie?
No.
What about if I showed you an image of unicorns? What if I showed you an image of the ball Earth?
I suppose, that's brilliant. I do quite like that.
Right, well, it's logic, it's reasoning,
That
is it not? So we can't cherry pick, you know, just because an institution's claiming what they're up to is real and they shows it on a TV, for me that's no scientific measurable proof. Would you agree with that?
I do, yes.
Excellent. So I hope that you stick to that direct realism, don't take any nonsense, and don't listen to these parroted phrases of show me the edge and all that nonsense, alright?
That's spot on. Thank
Nice
you
one,
very
buddy.
much.
You know much. Pleasure to speak to you.
Pleasure.
Cheers, bud.
Thank you very much.
You alright, bud? What's your name, man?
Casper.
Casper, how you doing? I'm Dale, Casper.
Dale?
Dale.
Nice
Yep.
to meet you, Dale.
Dale. Casper, can I ask you, mate? I want to ask you a wee bit about philosophy, if you maybe have any. Can I ask you what your philosophy is on life?
Don't really. Just treat people how you want to be treated, innit?
Yep.
Really,
Good philosophy. Aye.
I don't really have many philosophies, man. I just
Yeah.
be myself and try and treat people how I want to be treated.
Excellent. It's a good attitude to have, man.
Aye.
Aye.
Then I just roll with the punches.
Exactly,
You know
good.
what I mean? So,
Okay.
aye.
Right, I want to ask you another quick question, mate. Do you believe that the Earth's a round ball?
It's round, it's not flat.
You think it's round?
It's more round than it is flat.
Can I ask you why you think that?
Because that's what the people told us to believe.
Exactly, man. Good answer. Good answer. Have you heard of flat Earth?
Not since Christopher Columbus.
Nice one, bud. Cheers for that. How you doing, buddy? What's your name?
My name's Tom.
Tom. Nice to see. I've never seen this before, Tom.
This is a rickshaw.
A rickshaw.
I've been doing this for 11 years.
11 years, excellent, man. It's funny, I've never seen it about, you know.
There you go. This is my first day back after Christmas, New Year.
Oh, nice one. Aye, so did you enjoy your time off, did you?
I did indeed.
Aye.
It's nice to get back though.
Aye. I just want to ask you a wee kind of philosophical question before I ask you about the other subject. Can I ask you, what do you think about life?
There's a big question, huh?
Aye.
That's not an easy question. What do you think about life?
Aye.
Who are we, where are we going and why we're here? Are
Aye.
they big questions?
Aye.
I believe we're here for a reason. What reason it is, I don't know. But I believe in fate, and fate guides me where I go in life.
Where you going, like?
I'm not a religious person, and whatever happens in my life, it's meant to be.
Aye.
Aye.
Can I ask you, have you based that, your kind of philosophy or your ideas of life based on where you think you are? Does that make sense to you?
As in now?
Aye, where you think you are as in what the world actually is?
Well, this job that I'm doing now as a rickshaw driver, I wasn't looking for a job as a rickshaw driver. I was a joiner for 32 years.
Aye.
This job came across like cycling, I got it. And that's the way I see life. Things come to your path unbeknown to you.
Aye.
I call it the yellow brick road of life.
So would you say kind of synchronicity then? Like,
Synchronicity,
like determined?
serendipity, everything's predetermined. You think you're making choices, but choices are already made for you.
Okay.
And everything's predetermined. You think you're going to the left, but that's already pre-planned.
That's what you wanted to, aye. So,
Aye.
so like almost like a computer program then, would you say?
A bit
Like
like the Matrix, yeah.
a bit like
Aye,
the Matrix, aye.
Aye.
So the reason I was asking, can I rephrase it again, was, you know, when I ask people about these kind of philosophical questions, a lot of people base it on where they think they are, as in what the world actually is. So this was the point. Do you believe the world's a round ball?
Oh, you're going with the flat earth routine, I can't really say aye or no, but when you look at YouTube stuff, you think, what is, who are we? Because we're told that.
Yeah.
You know, we're told that's red and that's blue, or that's green, that's purple, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Because we're indoctrinated into thinking that that's the way it is, we're
Yeah.
accepting it.
Yeah.
And I'm a believer of, I'll go the other way, I'll no believe it, whatever it may be, and try and get my way of thinking of knowledge of.
So discerning for yourself, using your own common sense, using your own reasoning. What I would class as a direct realist, somebody who bases their knowing and understanding on things they can experience for themselves and things that they can test for themselves. Would you say you're a man that follows that kind of line?
I read a lot of philosophy, I read a lot of psychology.
Yeah.
I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I'm always watching people's psychology of ways of working and walking and determining the world, etc, etc, etc.
Yeah.
But I do ask the big question.
So do you think that the way of the world right now is based on the ideas that people have about life and who they are and where they are?
Because we're indoctrinated from an early age.
Yeah.
Parents, school, religion, college, university, everybody is indoctrinated you into thinking that way of thinking, whatever that way is.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. To eradicate that, I would resort back to direct realism and eradicate you know, hearsay and information coming inwards and base things on my direct experience. So do you think that it plays a part in the way the world's going based on the ideas that, you know, we evolved from monkeys and that we're on a space rock flying endlessly through a vacuum? You know, that, getting back to the point, for me, a lot of people base their reasoning and their philosophies on the types of, you know, fundamentals, like you're in a rock flying about a vacuum endlessly through space. But if that's not the case, then, you know, you start addressing and looking at life through different eyes, because, you know, you don't have that assumption that that's what's going on.
I do believe that we never went to the fucking moon.
Okay.
You know, because it's impossible, because we've got allegedly the Van Allen belt. And with the Van Allen belt you need to be encased in 3 foot of lead to go through the Van Allen belt, because you can't get through the Van Allen belt.
So you're aware of these types of things?
I'm quite scientific, as in realising we've been told a fucking lie. Because
So what's your stance if you're quite scientific? Because I speak to a lot of people who don't really understand the definitions of science, and for me science is based in substances. So like if somebody made a claim to me about reality, they're duty bound to present me with a demonstration of the substances and how they behave in order for me to accept that it's part of my reality. Would you agree with that as being science? Aye. So can I ask you then, what is your stance in regards to the shape of the earth? What do you think it is?
we're told that it is round, and we're on this round thing.
So if I was to ask you if you were to go with that, what would you point to that would suggest that it was a round ball? What would you come up with? Is there anything that you can think of that would suggest to you that it is a ball you live on?
Only what we've been told through that wee magic box called the television.
Excellent.
You know, the wee magic box tells the world this is what it is, and that's why I've never had a television the past 10 years. Because I broke away from that way of thinking, because I'm not going to watch that, because they're telling us this is the way the world is.
Exactly. Spot on.
Right,
Spot on, man.
The magic box is the fucking thing that tells everybody how to live their life.
So asking you then, where does the idea of the spinning ball come from? You would say through the TV screen.
Through the TV screen, yes.
Yep. And your direct experience of reality, what do you think it is?
That's a question I can't really answer, you know.
If I says to you, one of the main things that I go to is how liquid behaves, how water behaves, and that it always seeks its level and the surface is always horizontal from one point to the other. So if the Earth's, what they say, 72% liquid, that would tell me that the Earth's a level contained system.
I've seen the stuff on YouTube about the flat earth syndrome and all the rest of it.
Syndrome,
whatever you want to call it. And I do a lot bit of David Icke and all that stuff, because I like to think of there must be another way of seeing it, or another way of thinking, another way out there that people are not understanding.
Excellent.
You know.
Great. It's good to hear that there's other people out there that are free
you've
thinking.
got to talk to people like-minded, because if you're talking to Joe Bloggs that sits and watching Coronation Street, you're fucked.
But sometimes I think the Joe Bloggs, it's just a matter of maybe planting a wee seed or maybe a wee trigger point to get them to start having a thought about what's going on.
Joe
and where
Bloggs
they are.
are Mrs. Bloggs, because their life is based on work, soaps, work, wains, mortgage, bank, and I don't adhere to any of that, you know. I've not got a bank account, I've not got a television, I've not got a car, I've not got a computer, I've got none of these things, you know, but I've got happiness, fulfilment and contentment.
That's what we're looking for,
I'm always looking for,
exactly.
Because money can't buy that.
Exactly.
You know.
And do you think a lot of people are confused about that? They think that chasing money and stature is going to make them happy. And
well, they do think that, because they see the magic box again, think I want a bit of that, but they get a bit of that and they think I need something else to replace it. They get the new shoes or the new car or the new house.
So do you think we should be pulling together as communities and trying to make life better for each other?
Well, that's why the governments are separating communities and separating unions and getting rid of people, because and turning everything into corporate as well as AI, you know, because why do you need shop tellers when we can get you a machine that can do all that and get rid of shop tellers? You know, all these things, it's quite sinister what's going on in the world, isn't it?
It certainly is.
You know, and people are becoming anti-social, because everything's all through smartphones and they don't communicate with each other anymore.
Exactly.
You know, and that's quite sinister.
It certainly is. Well, so it's good to hear that, mate. So it's really refreshing to hear that. So does it intrigue you, just one quick point, does it intrigue you if the possibility is that the Earth is level, a level stationary plane that we live on, does it intrigue you that there may be other things beyond the restricted areas that we're not allowed to go to?
Oh, aye, definitely. You know, I think we can only see outward visual ways of seeing. You know, this is all we can see. Where we can see. We can't see the Sahara Desert now, or we can't see New York, but we think it exists, or we know it exists through the magic box again. You know, so we only see what we see. You know, the flat plane system is, I always wonder, here's my theory on it. When you're in an aeroplane and you're going from London to New York, right? You go up and over, allegedly. It takes 7 years, I think, or 5 years, whatever it is, on a plane. So if the ball is going, is it anti-clockwise or clockwise?
Well, it doesn't matter, either way.
So
I know what you're
does it take longer going anti-clockwise than it does clockwise?
Doesn't it?
Because the ball is spinning, allegedly.
That's it. Also, you're going on an aeroplane. It's called an aeroplane. and it's fitted with a mechanical device called a gyroscope that keeps it parallel with the earth underneath, and it does not deviate from that. So when you go up in an aeroplane, the aeroplane reaches altitude and it levels off, and it remains level until it reaches its destination before it descends and lands. And if it was a spinning, moving platform beneath it, they would have serious difficulties in landing that.
Right, here's a theory for you that I've said to a few friends. You go on a bus, stationary, you go on off a bus, stationary. You go on a train, stationary, you go off a train, stationary. You go on a plane, stationary, you go off a plane, stationary. What if I says to you that they vehicles do not move?
Right.
That you're in a simulator. You're sitting in a simulator and everything moves round about you. Then you get off and this is you a new destination.
Aye, well...
Because I think these things of, let's think outside the box.
Aye, well, good on you for that, you know. I think
because we've all been in simulators and you think, oh, this is brilliant, whatever it is, it's happening.
Yeah.
Well, a train, a plane, a bus or whatever.
Well, I could extend that up to your physical body, and that the whole place is one big simulation. And some people and some of the mainstream are starting to push towards that kind of narrative. But for me, I'm a wee bit suspicious of that.
I think so.
Well, you know, I think outside the box, but I still base things on there being an objective reality, and there's substances here that we can know and depend on. I think vehicles physically move. You know, stuff does physically move, but the laws and the science they're trying to push towards us, I think, is absolute bullshit.
And who is it that's pushing it towards us?
Well, your mainstream institutions, you know, people at NASA, who are the only people who are, you know, they're showing us images through a screen that contradict, you know, actual reality. And for me, there's a real issue there with that. Again, you know, I say this to people, the motives to me right now are secondary.
Right.
The fact of the matter is trying to establish with people, look, there is a subject to be looked at here, and there's a big question being asked in regards to this claim that's being made about where we are.
But why would they want to tell us this lie or tell us this deviation or whatever it is? What they're hiding from us?
Well, again, we get back to, you know, the sequence of events, and for me, motivation or motive is secondary. You know, it's let's look at the crime scene and let's establish what the facts are, and then we can move on to motives. But I could surmise certain motives, the main one being control and domination of people, keeping them central.
Separated?
Yep, separated, and also keeping them central. And if there is other areas that we could find and discover, they're limiting us from going to these places, you know. So the main points would be control, obviously.
Right, terrorism's a big thing of telling the lie of terrorism, it doesn't exist.
Aye. That's another method to constrict us and control us and keep us confined, so that we're limited in free movement yet again. Because for me, they know that we're starting to wake up and they have to have these measures in place.
And do you know what's been happening in Buchanan Street in the city centre, as well as what's going to be happening in New York?
What's that?
We've been fitted with all these bollards in Buchanan Street and Circle Hall Street.
Yeah.
Can I come in this video?
Yeah, of course. Can you give me 2 seconds?
No, why are you videoing? Why are you videoing?
Have you ever heard of the flat Earth?
Yeah.
What?
It's spinning it right now.
You're on it? So is that really true? Do you really believe that it is flat?
No.
You don't?
No.
Do you believe it's a ball?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you can't walk off there.
Because what?
You can't walk off it.
But how do you stay on a ball?
You need to keep moving.
You need to keep moving?
Aye.
But like a mouse on a wheel?
Aye. Like a hamster on its my wheel height. No, like you can't stay on the earth. Are you going to post this? This is like this is like the earth, right? And like you can't walk off it. Where are you going to post this? It is a circle.
But what if you're just going to run in circles like that?
We are.
Yeah. So how does that prove that it's a ball?
Because we're going round in circles.
But if I can run a circle on you right now, does that mean the street's circle? A ball?
Aye, look. That means you're going round in a circle.
Yeah, exactly. So the street's not a ball, is it?
What are you trying to say here?
I'm asking you if you've heard about the flat earth and what you actually believe.
What the fuck? What's the postage?
Anyway.
Back to the control and keeping people under control. Buchanan Street, Circle Hall Street has been fitted with bollards and
Bye.
street furniture.
Yep.
Right, and they're calling it anti-terrorist furniture.
Yep.
New York has just been allocated £50 million to fit bollards and barriers and the same street furniture in New York to control the people, but they're saying it's to stop vehicles entering the pedestrian precincts. You know,
bullshit.
It's all about controlling the movement of people, you know, and the movement of people because they're scared of the people because they're uprising.
That's it.
Whether it's Tunisia or whether it's Syria, wherever it may be, they're uprising and something's going to trigger it eventually.
Yeah.
And this is a way of controlling it.
Exactly. That's what I think as well. Aye, good on you, man.
Right.
Aye, pleasure speaking to you.
You too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I don't mind. I mean, the rich people. What I really care is the ordinary people.
But the ordinary people don't seem to care about each other anymore. They're too busy chasing fantasy. They're too busy chasing celebrity and stature and wealth.
But I mean, we have the power and we can use it.
Yeah.
But we need to use it, and we must to set up some kind of social action in order to use our power.
Yeah.
But we can do it.
Yeah. Well, good on you, man. It's good to see you out in the street being active and trying to pursue.
Thank
you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take it easy.
But I mean, spread and share as much as you can.
Nice one.
Did you finish the record?
Yeah, I'm still recording, but thank you for being active. You know, we need people like yourself to get out there and spread the word and try and make a difference.
Thank you
All
so
buddy.
much.
Thank you. Cheers. Hi buddy, what's your name?
Tink.
Tink?
Yeah.
I'm Dale Tink,
Nice to
alright.
meet you,
Can I ask you, Tink, how did you end up in this situation?
My dad's an alcoholic.
Is he?
Yeah. We used to fight each other a lot. Most of the times I'd run away and get taken back by the police because that was my home when I was younger.
Right.
Obviously police have the right to take you home when you're that young, but now I'm old enough and I just done one from him. He's a nasty guy, so yeah, I just done one.
So what kind of support are you getting just now?
Right now I've got a probation worker. She helps me out quite a lot. I'm on a housing list, so I'm looking for houses now.
And have you get somewhere to stay at the moment, or are you...
Not really, no. I tried to use the free night shelters, but they're dormitory rooms, and my rucksack with clothes got stolen.
Right.
So I just stay away from anything that's like shared accommodation, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Not only that, I mean, there's some drug users and stuff that sometimes you don't want to be around, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Can I ask you what age you are?
I'm 18.
You're 18?
Yeah.
That's not a very good start for you, buddy, is it?
No, but
No.
it's a start.
Aye. What
It's
do
not
you...
forever.
So, needless to say, I mean, what do you think about life?
Life. It's disappointing sometimes.
Disappointing sometimes?
More often than not, it's just what you make of it, innit?
That's it, man.
You know,
That's it.
it's, sit around doing fuck all, you're going to get fuck all.
Exactly.
You know, but
Sometimes it just takes a wee bit of support, though.
yeah,
And
yeah, a bit of a kick up the arses sometimes as well.
do you think people are interested in helping each other?
Yeah, some more than others.
Some?
Yeah, I mean, some people would help me before they'd help themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and that's amazing.
That's the way it should be, though.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody in the world was like that, then the world would be a hell of a
Much
better
better.
place. You know.
And what you see is you look up and down this street and it's just all people who are too busy shopping and interested in their
Yeah,
own pursuit.
there's not a lot of time for people like in this situation. Don't get me wrong, there's people that devote their entire lives to it, you know, but sometimes there's not, you know. There's more of people like that, you know, brilliant, amazing.
Can I ask you what this is about, mate? Is do you ever think about where you actually are in regards to what the world actually is?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
If I'm honest, it's all lies.
It's all lies.
Yeah. Everything's lies. If it's not lies, then it's money. And unfortunately, that's the way it is, I guess.
Can I ask you, do you think the world's a round ball? You do?
Yeah, maybe.
Can I ask you why you would think it was a round ball?
Nobody's ever told me otherwise, I guess.
So was it based on people telling you that it's a round ball?
I guess, yeah.
If I was to ask you right now to prove to me that it's a round ball, what would you point to?
Maybe a downhill area.
A downhill area?
Yeah, maybe.
That's a slope though.
Yeah.
If I was to ask you to prove that it was a ball, was there any...
It's nothing to say that it's like... It's not exactly like that, is it? Let's be honest, you know?
Yeah.
It's not... I don't know. I couldn't exactly prove it.
You couldn't exactly prove it?
No, unless I went and got a degree with NASA or something, you know?
Exactly. So that would be what you would go to. You would go to NASA and the images that they show you.
Yeah, they'd probably just lie to you and say, yeah.
Well, so do you think then that you should believe something based on what you see on a TV?
No, definitely not.
No.
You should believe what you believe, you know.
Based on your experience?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's like most people's experience with drug users, horrible people. My experience with drug users is they're probably the nicest people that have been out for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think they're drug users because of the way the world is and because
I think they're drug
they can't deal
users
with it?
because of the way their life is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I suppose the world comes into that. Yeah, if the world helped them out and on the paths that they were meant to be on, then I guess.
If we base things on community,
Yeah.
equality,
Yeah, instead of
supporting
everybody
each
caring
other.
about themselves, you know. I mean,
It's horrible, eh?
yeah, most people's worst enemy is themselves.
Yeah.
And that's mainly because they're self-centered.
Yeah.
And
Do you think they've been sold that though? Do you think it's
I
been
don't think you
manipulated
could.
to be like that?
well, yeah, I guess. I mean, people realise what they've got and they take it for granted, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see people walk around with the new iPhones, it's like £1,000. I mean, I've got a sleeping bag that I struggled to get that cost £20, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's commodities and, you know.
Do you know what I'm going to do, buddy? And you can say thanks to this man, right? This guy sent me. Hang on. There's a guy in America who watches me, alright?
Okay.
And I've been looking for somebody who I think would be benefit for this. There's $60 on that card, right? Now Bill from Florida was a guy who sent me that because he appreciates the work that I do. I really don't need this, and he told me that I could use it for whatever I wanted to use it for. So when I see a young man like you who's struggling,
Thank you.
I think that merits,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
I
great.
think
Thank
you
you.
deserve that, and you need that more than I need it, or
Thank you, man.
the majority of the people that I've met round about here. It's a gift card. Look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you that part of it, because I don't know how it works, and I think there's only certain places that it can be used in.
Okay.
Right? I think there's another wee part of it here somewhere. Right, see that there? Take that. And I know that there is places you can use it. As I say, Bill sent it to me for me to use it for myself, but I don't need it, you know. We all struggle, man, you know, and we're all in shit. And at the end of the day, I've got a roof over my head and I've got food to get back to, so I wanted to hear that to you and hope that it makes a wee difference to your life today,
amazing.
buddy.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
man?
you very much.
No problem. So, I don't know if you want to say anything to Bill. Or
Yeah, thank you very much, Bill. Cheers, man. Thank you. That's helped
Pretty
a lot.
good
Thank
use.
you.
All right, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
speaking to me,
Thank
all right, buddy. Take care.